So, we're into 2025 now. What's going on with me? What's going on with Audiostorm? Well, we've got a fantastic new staff member who started towards the end of last year, and he's been looking after a lot of the soldering on the pedals. It's brilliant, he's fantastic, very happy. And unfortunately, I lost my other staff member who looked after the hotboxes. So, I'm a little behind on hotbox manufacturing because I've had to take it over basically, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm sat here stripping the ends off wires so that they can go into hotbox 130s in fact. And there is a bin down here, all the little pieces are going in the bin. I'm not that messy. And I'd love to get a machine to do this. I keep looking at them, but sort of £700, £800 outlay for something when this is quite a relaxing little task. Just doesn't convince me. Anyway, so what else am I going to do? So I'm going to begin the year by focusing a little more on the promotion of my Grand Classic, which I haven't really promoted because once I finally shipped it to the Kickstarter backers, to be honest, I just needed to move on and get something else done for my own well-being as much as anything. I obviously did the Tone Lord, and then I really wanted to get the Tone Lord done by Christmas, and I did. It came out in December, really, but after all that, quite exhausted, and I've been doing contracts for other people because I do some external contracts looking after some very wealthy people's amplifiers who pay very well, and a few things for the robotics side of my business, looking after industrial machinery and some other contracts with studios. So I have a few bits and pieces I do that help keep the old income ticking over. So I've had to do all those, and obviously I'm catching up on these. So a lot of catch up to begin the year. That's the short. Beginning of the year, we're just playing catch up. Once that's out of the way, the next task is to focus on promoting the Grand Classic and the Tone Lord, get some videos out there for you, get the videos for the hot boxes out there I've been promising. And I really think that it's time now to settle into that. So initially, no new products for the beginning of this year. I'm just going to focus on lots of information, helping you get the best from your pedals if you've bought them, or your hot boxes or your attenuators. Do some really cool informative videos, and if you haven't bought them, hopefully you'll watch the videos and think, hey, this person knows what they're doing, they're passionate, and actually, this is the thing that will help me in my quest for tone. So hopefully so. That's how we're going to start the year. Of course, it wouldn't be, I can't go for a whole year without making something new, and the first thing on that list really for me is to get the Otherworld finished and launched. And that's probably going to be, in fact, no, it's not probably, it is going to be a Kickstarter. So I did not Kickstarter the Tone Lord, and I wouldn't say I regretted it because I needed it out fast, and I would say it's much faster to not bother with the Kickstarter. However, the promotional reach of it was very poor by comparison. To be frank, I didn't reach as many people, and much more difficult for me. The cost outlay all had to come out of my own pocket, so it was expensive. I mean, it's expensive either way, but there's a difference in expensive, I'm using the money I should be using for other things, and expensive, you guys have backed it. So it was a struggle. Didn't mind doing it, but I don't think I'll do it again. So yes, the Otherworld is going to be a Kickstarter later in the year. The Otherworld, of course, is my green overdrive pedal, which, as a lot of you know, over the last few years, I've put my time into improving our manufacturing facilities, because unlike a lot of manufacturers, and no shame in it, it's actually, we manufacture in-house. I love doing my own manufacturing. I don't want someone else to do it. It's as simple as that. It's a passion. Is it cost effective? Probably not really, but I think it's an amazing thing to do. And so yes, a lot of time gone into my own manufacturing. So this is going to be an evolution of the Quad Screamer, which the Quad Screamer was an excellent pedal, but very hand manufactured. And if I'm to keep the price at a level you guys and girls can really enjoy, it has to be mechanically manufactured to some extent. We have to have an element of automation, and I do like my robots. I like my robots a lot. So yeah, so we're going to automate that, promote that, and roll that one out. That's the only real promise I'm going to make for the year. I've got a lot of other things in the pipeline. I've got someone speaking to me about wanting a phaser. I want to do that. There's a bit of vanity in that. I do love a phaser, but I'm also aware those are quite a tough pedal to do a really good job of. It's easy to do a basic one, anyone can do a basic one, but you know me, I don't want to do a basic pedal. So possibly a phaser. And of course I have the direct recording box, and I'm sick of looking at that thing. My prototypes, I've got about 15 prototypes, and I'm absolutely sick of it. So I think once I've got that Otherworld pedal out, because it's not an easy win. Nothing I do is an easy win, because it's not as hard a win. So I'm going to look at getting that direct recording box out, because I love it, and it needs. I feel like my hot boxes are only half a product without it. You know, it's sort of missing the point without it. It's an integral part of my planned ecosystem. So, yeah, catch up. We'll look at the Otherworld and getting out on a Kickstarter. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that. Hopefully be a bit more chilled, because the finances are quite stable right now. Everything's stable, unbelievably, in this climate, and I'm doing okay. Thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you to everyone. Yeah, direct recording box. And I have one other thing I'm going to do, which is really, really cool. And this is probably what happened to the end of the year, but with the external contracts I have for looking after amplifiers and other things that I do, and studio work and the rest of it, and things, I have a really strong background in valve amplifiers, tube amplifiers. I've always made them, I've always modified them, and I've always repaired them. In fact, to be honest, I started doing that I started doing it for a living, certainly before pedals. But making your own tube amp for sale is impossibly expensive. It's not just the cost of the parts, which are much, much more expensive. It's the fact that you have to meet loads of safety criterias. It's a lot more involved, because you're messing around with mains level voltages, and yeah, it's just a huge outlay. But I've wanted to do it for ages, and suddenly I had this bit of inspiration. I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? For a bit of a showcase under the Audiostorm Aegis brand, I'm going to buy in a few old amplifiers, or look for ones that people might part with, and I'm going to transform them utterly from what they are into the ultimate editions of what they could be. So I've got a Laney over there, a little 30 watt Laney already. That's my starter. I've got a PV on the way, which we shall talk about more, and I've got an Ibanez, which is one of mine actually. I'm going to donate in to the thing. That's three. Three is a good start, because it's a big job. So for the Laney, I'm going to focus on its Black Country heritage. I'm going to convert it, I think, from a combo to a head. I think it would be better as a head. I'm going to change the reverb around a little in it and make it much better. I'm going to change the gain structure in it to bring out the tones we all associate with, well, honestly, frankly, with Sabbath and Naomi, and that sort of general ballpark of tones, I think. I'm going to recover it. I'm going to talk about that in future, because that's a secret for now. I'm going to recover it to something very cool. And so I'm going to really focus there and make it an interesting amplifier. That. The PV again, PV alternatively, I'm going to focus on its American heritage there. Mississippi blues, I think, and see if we can't draw something more out of it, because that's a big, loud amplifier. So it's got Mississippi blues heritage. Of course, it's got the 5150 kind of heritage, although it's not a 5150. I mean, that's already a great amp. This is a very different amplifier. And the small head I'm donating over there, the Ibanez one, to be honest, that's always had problems since I bought it. Which is one of the reasons I'm donating. It's always had a weird thing with the volume control that I've never been able to solve. It's had some little noise issues, but the parts in it are quite good. So I'm just going to gut that, rip all the circuit boards out, transform it into point-to-point, bin off the overdrive that's in there completely, all the solid state bits, and we'll just have a rethink and turn that into something. These are going to be, these are the Ferrari to my Fiat. So we'll have some fun with that. So it's going to be a fun year ahead. I hope you stick with me, and we'll see where it goes. I also, on a closing statement, there's one last closing statement, really hate promoting. I really hate it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stick to doing videos how I like doing them, which is this. Social videos where I can sit and chat with you. And I'm going to reduce anything else, and hopefully I'm just going to find some external people to do more reviews. I've not had much luck with that, to be honest. I struggle with finding external reviewers. I'm just not really good at it. And hopefully they'll take over that sort of aspect, because I don't really want to do it anymore. I want to focus on making amazing electronics for all of you people out there, so you can go on and make amazing, cool, awesome noises. Now I think that was the last of them, so I'm going to fire up my solder pot, go dip them all, and continue making these Hotbox 130s, because I've still got a couple to ship out from Christmas. So catch you soon.